Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world, folks. Welcome back to the Wrestling for Life Network. We're going to do a little bit of Clash at the Castle kickoff live from Glasgow, Scotland. It's an early one, but we got a busy couple days here on the channel. So we're going to talk a little wrestling. Get in that chat. Don't be shy. Don't be quiet. And let's go. Hello again, folks. I am Mr. Every Night KJ White, the Iron Man of YouTube, and this is the Wrestling for Life Network, the channel that just watches more live wrestling than anybody else out there. Want to say hello to everybody out there. Friday. It's Friday. The weekend is upon us. A big weekend ahead. We got a lot going on, but we are going to cover the kickoff show. We're going to talk a little WWE. We can talk some other stuff. Get in that chat, say hello, don't be quiet, don't be shy, click all those buttons, and we will run through what's happening on the WWE kickoff for Clash at the Castle as we get ready for that. Do remember, we are here live tonight for SmackDown and TNA Against All Odds, plus we got our TNA review coming out, plus we got Clash at the Castle tomorrow morning, brunch with the boys 10. Gonna be a fun one. I see a couple people hanging out with me on this Friday. If you're at work, hope your work day's going well. If you're playing hooky, congratulations. If you're not working at all, way to go. But we are kicking off the kickoff. Go figure. We got Piper Niven's coming into the stadium. Lots going on, lots of intrigue, lots of things to debate. We're going to find out what's going to happen between all the storylines going into this one, but it looks like a packed house for the kickoff. If you don't know, it is live on the WWE Network. I'm sure they got it on YouTube, but stay here with me. Hang out with me for a little while as I got Michael Cole on the stage. Yes, he is Michael Cole. So, folks, how you doing? Let me say hello to a couple people as we kick this one off. But mic check. Good to see you, Bradley. Welcome back. I know you're going to be going after that Predictions Championship tomorrow. See if you can regain your title. Good to see Odds. Good to see a normal guy. I don't know if that's there's such a thing, but hello. Randolph, welcome back. I'd say good morning, but I realized I'm out of vitamins, so average morning. Ooh, out of vitamins. That's not a good way to start off your Friday. I hope you re-up soon, sir. But yeah, a little vitamin-induced morning is never a bad thing. So make sure you have some for tomorrow. Wake and bake, get up and have some snacks ready for Clash live. We're going live at 11:45 a.m. Eastern time, so it should be very interesting. Mike Clayton, always a pleasure. WWE is running their feed on YouTube. I figured as much. Margise with all the thumbs. Welcome, sir. But here comes the game. Triple H. And he's telling the cameraman to follow him. I'm sure it's not Shibata, though. So if you're hearing me right now, if you're listening to me right now, let me know. How are you feeling about Clash? Are you excited about Clash? Have they built up enough of a card? Again, very specific to the Papa Paul era. Not a whole lot of matches on the card. I think it's 5, 6. They keep it quality over quantity. I like it. But the crowd is singing and they are ready to go. Big Mike, good morning. Yeah, it's 11 a.m. Woo, it's good. Feels good. But yeah, Triple H vibing with the crowd. Already, right? Never too early for a Shibata reference. I mean, the guy, he took a second job. He could be the cameraman. How do I know? Me personally, I'm looking forward to Clash. I love the international shows. I know some of the local fans, as far as the US of A, don't love when they travel or don't love when the pay-per-views are at wonky times. But I just love the energy. I love seeing the crowds. Like this one right here, right now. It's just a kickoff. The place is packed. It's live. I love how they're doing these events. You started off on the Friday with the kickoff. You get a SmackDown live in the country of wherever they are. And then you get the pay-per-view the next day. They've done a really good job of building these events. The next one coming up is in Toronto, my neck of the woods. And I'm looking forward to it. I mean, Money in the Bank, you get, SmackDown. We're getting Money in the Bank. Then we get Heat Wave all in the same weekend. So it should be live for that. But on the bright side, folks, we are back in the States for SummerSlam. But Triple H kicking off the shindig today. About to roll one up and watch the kickoff. Attaboy, attaboy. Welcome back, Adam. Good to see you. Good to see you. As long as they go to Perth, Australia, I don't care. Don't go to Perth, Australia. It does get a little wonky. I mean, again, as far as the channel goes that covers a lot of the wrestling or almost all the wrestling, I mean, we've been here live at 3 a.m. for New Japan shows. So, I mean, I don't mind. I don't think they'll be going back to Perth anytime soon, but I do expect it would continue this very heavy international booking. I think the WWE's done a great job. They want to be global. They want to be big. They want to cover as much of the globe as they possibly can. So, I mean, I'm excited about it. I like it. I like the vibe. Like I said, the energy. We were kind of jokingly tongue-in-cheek talking about it on Monday with Rob. It wasn't the liveliest of crowds. And I love when the crowd has energy. One of my favorite things of watching old wrestling, going back through old tapes, is just the visceral reaction from the crowd. They're so into it. They're so energized. And I mean, sometimes nowadays it can be a little bit lackluster, like just waiting for that big spot. Unless somebody's going through a table, people can sit on their hands, and it's not my favorite. Someone yells out, "I love you," and he said, "I'd say it back, but I don't know you." So Triple H still got his clever little side to himself. Well, the international crowds actually give a shit about the product, so it makes sense. Randolph, it's a very good point. Now, I do think that, I mean, if you're going to pay the money that you pay and take the time, find parking, get in the arena, I'd imagine there's some level of care, even if you're domestic, local. I can't imagine that you went all the way down to the arena and went to the show and you didn't care. You must be a wrestling fan in some regard, unless you're, a significant other that got dragged to the show against your will. But I mean, for my money, if you're going to go all the way down there, enjoy the show. Imagine going to a concert and just sitting quiet, right? Unless you're going to a fucking Sarah McLachlan concert, probably not the best choice. But yeah, as right now we got Cole and Triple H going back and forth. But yeah, I mean, I feel like the crowds, there has to be some level of care, right? Like there's some level of interest. It's just, I think they've been so desensitized at times where they are just looking for those big spots, those big moments, those, is someone going through a table? Is someone going to do a backflip? And sometimes I don't really get just jazzed for the people involved. Like, I miss the good old days where, an arm drag would get a pop. That's true. CM Punk chance. Here's a question for those who are hanging out with me right now on this beautiful Friday. How do you feel about Punk? Is he going to be there at Clash? Is he in Scotland? Do we know? I don't know. I'm nervous. I predicted the man would show up at Clash. I don't know where he is. Is he in the States? Did he make the flight? I haven't seen any videos or social media of him around. I wonder, are they keeping it a secret? Are they keeping it a hush-hush, or is he just not there? Good mythical morning, y'all. I just got offered my dream job after being laid off for 3 months ago, baby. Pal, I love it. I love to hear it, man. As a dude who has gone through a layoff or two, super happy to hear that. And again, sometimes when one door closes, another one opens. And sometimes when things seem bleak and bad and not going so well, you keep positive, and I'm glad. I hope the job works out. I hope everything goes well for you, sir. And thank you for coming to the chat today. Good morning, Kyle. How you doing? Here Triple H with his usual question. Yes, CM Punk is there. Okay, thank you, Bradley. I hadn't seen anything yet, like, Punk hanging out with a dragon or wearing a kilt or anything. Are you ready? He still got it, folks. I still got it. I'm pretty sure if Paul didn't have to go through the cardiac event, he'd be still inclined to participate more. But he still got it. Got everyone jazzed up, ready to go. The crowd in Scotland seems crazy. That girl looks like Jewel. That's hilarious. I can definitely see him costing Drew the title. Randolph, I love it. Now, here's the thing. This is one of the most highly contested, highly debated topics, maybe ever on this channel. In the 2+ years we've been doing this, there's some things that we've got heated and debated about. Myself and Big Nick, we just cannot agree on how this is going to play out. Big Nick will be here tonight, and I'm sure we're going to get into it. But here comes AJ Styles. But I can definitely see it. And does that mean I'm 100% right? No, I'm guessing just like everyone else. Could Drew McIntyre win, get a big hometown pop? Yeah, but I don't know. I really don't know. I understand. I mean, if this was Tony Khan booking, Tony Khan's all about that sentimentality. We saw what he did with Soraya. She was a heel, but had a baby face moment at Wembley, though it didn't make quite sense. So that's my hang up is, yeah, it would be a lovely moment for a baby face. Drew's a big heel. And my biggest dilemma with the situation is, what do you do if CM Punk costs Drew this belt? I can see the path to the summer. If Drew wins, I think it gets a little trickier. Not that they can't pull it off. I mean, Drew could win. CM Punk could win Money in the Bank. And then, Drew could go on to fight Gunther. CM Punk could try and cash in. I just don't know. And we're not supposed to know. The good news is we're guessing, and the possibilities are plentiful, and they are all reasonable. But we got AJ Styles on the stage. We're getting huge TNA chants. Where's Anthony? We're getting TNA chants. Yeah, let's go. Hit that like button. I know it's an early morning kickoff show, but I appreciate the love. We appreciate all the love. And I will remind everybody, we are driving towards 5K, our next milestone, and then we're on and upward to our next one. So thank you for reminding everybody. Appreciate it, Odds. What's up, gamer? How you doing? Welcome on back. I'm excited for the show tomorrow afternoon, Kyle. I'm happy to hear it. And again, I think what I'm getting out of these shows is, I know we're not getting the 8, 9, 10 matches that we're used to, but every match, it seems to be getting a fair amount of time, and every match seems to have a fair amount of intrigue to it. Whether it's the women's tag match or the Intercontinental title, or Damian and Drew, or AJ and Cody, there is plausible. It's plausible that the outcome could be multiple things, that nothing's a real big slam dunk. And I know there's some people out there that will show up after the show and go, "Oh, it was predictable. I knew it." But those people never give us a prediction prior to. So I think there's some obviouses. Like any sport, there's favorites. And a lot of times a favorite wins. That's why they are the favorite. So to say a favorite winning is predictable, to me, doesn't make sense. It's it might be expected, but that's the fun part of an underdog. That's the fun part of not knowing. That's the fun part of watching the matches play out. Is, yeah, we think something's going to happen, but what if something else happens? I quit. So AJ Styles is 4-0 in I quit matches. What do you think about AJ Styles getting some TNA chance? Is that his future landing spot? I honestly would rather Punk not cost him the title. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. How would you see it playing out, though? CM Punk could win Money in the Bank. Yeah, that's the caveat. And again, as much as I've been very stubborn as usual, y'all know me. I don't like to lose an argument. Um, that is a caveat to all this. I never even thought the idea that Punk could be the Money in the Bank winner. We were thinking LA Knight, Jey Uso, that kind of idea. But could it be Punk? Could it be Punk? And that would change the dynamic all around. So AJ Styles saying everybody fell for it. I don't care. The fans fell for it. Cody fell for it. Let's be real. The minute we saw that jacket, we were suspect with you, AJ. Let's be real on that. Way too predictable and isn't needed to further the storyline. I'd rather the Judgment Day get this done by themselves. Well, here's the catch to that, my buddy. The Judgment Day is banned from ringside. So what does that mean? Does Liv Morgan help out to try and get in the good graces of the Judgment Day? By the way, what did Finn Balor do with that room key? Anybody want to take a guess? But yeah, I mean, again, you're not wrong about the storyline thing. I think it does further the storyline. It does further this hatred. And it keeps playing back into like, you cost me my WrestleMania moment and you bragged about it. Now I'm going to cost you. So I do see both sides of the coin. I also think that Drew being champion might hinder it because I don't know that Punk going after the belt right now, but what do I know? Punk could go after the belt. But there goes AJ Styles, short, sweet, to the point. Is there a chance we some kind of tease or a QR code of cash? I can almost guarantee it, Kyle. I don't know what it's going to be, but with the countdown clock down to the final couple days here, the countdown clock expiring on Monday, I think they're going to want tonight and tomorrow to tease us a little bit more, amp us up a little more, have everybody kind of, top of mind and really dig into it. As here comes Cody Rhodes. So no direct interaction between Cody and AJ. AJ comes out, said his piece. Here comes Cody and the crowd singing. AJ is swole. He is jacked, man. I got to get on that regimen. Yeah, the crowd is feeling it. What up, Kira? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Damian could win clean since he's becoming a babyface. He could. I mean, that would be very interesting. I think modern wrestling fans are so dialed into protecting talent. I see it all the time where people comment on it, even on our live streams, about like, oh, so-and-so lost, they're ruined. Again, I wins and losses, just like any sport. One win, one loss does not define you. Could Damian win clean? Could Drew win clean? Very possible. I think we're just so used to the chaos, so used to the as Cody goes crowd surfing. And I think we almost had a wardrobe malfunction in the front row. Our friend Jewel here forgot to wear a top under her blazer. Cody is crowd surfing. And anybody that says Cody Rhodes is not over, Cody Rhodes is not the guy, Cody Rhodes shouldn't be the champion, you got to be watching the screen right now. This man is over everywhere he goes. The biggest babyface in wrestling, arguably. And there is nothing wrong with him being the champion in the face of the company. He says all the right things. He does all the right things. He is the 2024 John Cena, if you will. But he is loved. Loved. One of my thoughts, though, that kind of pushes me towards Drew winning this is, does WWE see Priest versus Gunther as a good enough championship match for one of the big four PLEs? That is a good question. And my take on that is If it was the marquee match, maybe not. And you got a point there, especially with because we're not really sure what to do with Drew yet. We've seen a couple main events like on a Raw where the crowd's kind of all right, but if you have a bigger match and a couple bigger matches that are really marquee, is Gunther Priest the type of match that could open a show? I think that's the saving grace there. Gunther Priest, again, you're going to sell it and just, I brought my mother to Scotland. My mother came out of Scotland. There we go. So Cody went one way, I went the other. Mama Rhodes getting some love from the Scottish crowd. I love it. I love it. But yeah, Boston, you got a point. I mean, again, if it was the standalone marquee match, you might be a little hard pressed. But the anticipation is there's a good chance Roman's going to be there at SummerSlam. I know there was originally rumors about The Rock being involved, even though now he's got a big purple elbow. Boo hoo. Yeah, I think that it is the type of match that could be in the mix of a few others. And I think the idea that Gunther might win the championship would really intrigue people. Part of the reason why I think that's the payoff is I just wonder if they stop Priest in his tracks right now. I mean, it's a bit of a bit of a meh title run for him. I'm trying to hear what they're chanting. I'm trying to hear what are they chanting? I don't know what they're chanting. Priest versus Gunther, JD screws Priest. Now, keep in mind, Keyshawn, that is very possible. They've been building towards this. A lot of tension, a lot of issues. Priest kind of playing the leader of the group, especially in the absence of Rhea, and we've seen a good few examples of them not getting along, them not seeing eye to eye. You know, Priest wasn't keen on JD McDonough. Priest wasn't big on the idea of Carlito getting involved. Yeah, I'm kind of with you. Oh, it's definitely would further it if it happened. I just feel like there's so much heat between those two. Yeah, and that's a valid point. They're cooking already. The only I feel like it's been a little quiet, and and again, WWE does a good job of not oversaturating us. We don't always, we haven't seen Punk week in and week out cutting like 6 straight promos that lead to nothing. He comes out, they get some heat, comes back the next week, takes a couple weeks off, comes back. And you got a valid point. Absolutely, is they're cooking already. Everybody already, I think, and you guys can tell me if I'm wrong in the chat, but I think people all are already looking towards that showdown. Now, whether it's with the belt or not, to me, it doesn't matter. I'm looking forward to that battle. Part of my mindset was that Punk and Drew didn't need the title, but having the title doesn't hurt the whole situation. It makes it a little intriguing as well. I'll be on the record saying that if Punk does cost Drew, I won't be mad about it because the booking will make sense. And that's the only thing I care about. I'm with you, my guy. If Drew wins and my partner, Big Nick, gets to do a happy dance on his desk midstream, I'll be perfectly fine with it. Again, that's what I love about this. And that's what I love about doing these streams and doing these shows is it's like sitting around with your boys and everybody debating of who's better, who's worse, who's going to win, who's going to lose. Um, as long as it makes sense. I know when we cover some other shows, that's what's missing is the sensibility of it, the maturity of it. You got to make it make sense. You got to dial it in. If you're going to do things, do it for a reason. If you're going to build something, build it into something. Don't just do one-off moments. Like if you're going to take a pile driver and wear a neck brace for 3 days and then nothing comes of it, then what was the point? Okay. Sorry, I'm just catching what Cody's saying here. Okay, so Cody's saying, when I left WWE, I learned to get down and dirty. Talking about the Bullet Club, big pop for the Bullet Club. And again, another sign of change in WWE, another sign that the WWE isn't what it used to be. The fact that Cody Rhodes is holding a microphone with those W's on it and referencing the Bullet Club, that never happened. That never happened. What's up, Brahma? How you doing? How you doing? I don't see any of them losing clean. Yeah. So Cody's saying he's ready to throw down. Yep, if they lose clean, they buried in the IWC. It's this weird thing of like they hate Roman for cheating all the time. They don't like, matches that don't go clean, and then a match goes clean and they think someone got buried. The IWC's really fickle. And again, maybe a little bit later or tonight, we will talk about something that really got under my skin over the last 24 hours with the IWC, certain portions of the IWC. But that is it for Cody Rhodes. So not a lot of tension, not a lot of in your face, just very, I'm going to come out, cut a promo, let the fans know what's up, and get ready for tonight. Cody out here crowd surfing like Nick at the Can you take me to star? That was a cool spot, though. I just hope they have a good pay-per-view, a lot of quality matches. Yeah, that's always the hope, Rich. I don't care how many matches you got. I don't care what you've booked or how it turns out. Make it make sense and make it quality. I think the good thing about these pay-per-views, with the smaller cards, I think two things happen. One, you have very little room for error. Like, you look at some of the other pay-per-views where you get 10, 12, 14, 15 matches. You can have 6 really shit matches, but you had 3 amazing ones. So people kind of just like, oh, what a great pay-per-view, because, we got some good stuff in there. Where I think Triple H really puts an emphasis on, like, the weekly matches, they're going to go, anywhere from 4 minutes. I mean, unless it's a Braun Breaker match, but you get like 4 minutes to 10 minutes, maybe a main event that goes 12. But the pay-per-view matches, here's 15, 20, 25 minutes to really cook. We're going to have big entrances, big moments. But when the matches kick off, we're going to give the wrestlers time to do what we pay them to do. And that's get in the ring and wrestle. I have a lot more respect and desire to see that kind of wrestling, opposed to, you remember even the, going to the Vince days of, you'd have matches on the card that were no different than a weekly squash match. Like, why did that get booked here? Why did it, why did you fly, the Viking Raiders all the way to Saudi to get jumped in the aisleway and not wrestle? That shit doesn't fly with me. I like the fact that Papa Paul, so weird calling him that sometimes, but I like that Triple H has an emphasis on the payoff. The payoffs matter. The big matches matter. Yeah, we could do a 25-minute match on a Raw, but then when we do a pay-per-view, it doesn't feel special, does it? So that, to me, has been a very big way to separate it, to make these pay-per-views feel important. We're all anticipating that big payoff. As right now, we are getting a Piper Niven's package, which, listen, Piper gets full marks for me, guys. Are you gonna have spoiler warnings? We're gonna need them, aren't we? Yeah, no, you know how we roll around here. Odds, no spoilers. Tonight, we are gonna warn everybody. Don't fuck it up for everybody. Nick and I do everything we can to avoid knowing what's going to happen on these shows. We don't want to know. We want to react genuinely, as if, we're seeing it live. And I know the SmackDown tonight is going to air any minute now, actually, very soon. But here is Piper Nivens. What is she drinking? Oh, she's doing her best Triple H impression. Not overly convincing. Agreed, they could have a banger match and be a dark horse and steal the show, as both Gunther and Priest are great in the ring. Yeah, and I mean, again, I think if you're solely relying on those certain matches, and then it puts a real big emphasis in as far as I know it, regardless of what they can do in the ring, you're right about name value. Like when you look on paper, you're like, oh, Damian Priest, Gunther, does that have the sizzle of Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa, or Cody The Rock? Like, no, you're right. But again, I mean, I think because the way that the company's built right now, you get away with it. Oh, I like this moment though. I'm being a little sentimental right now. So Piper's talking about local places in Scotland. Um, Again, I grew up in a very, very Scottish family. So she's speaking my language right now. So it's a little bit sentimental, but it's a really nice moment for Piper, even though she's going to lose tomorrow. Dajkowski, surprise, kicks everyone's ass just for fun. Odds, what I find very interesting about Dijak is I really thought it was, I really like the idea that, at least on Twitter, and we know Twitter doesn't mean everything, but the fact that he put out there, somebody needs to stop Braun Breaker. I'm paraphrasing and adding, but that was the sentiment. The idea that Dijak could show up. Now, Dijak would probably put Breaker over, but he's a guy that could definitely run Braun Breaker into a long battle. She is a trailblazer for the women in Scotland, or for wrestling in Scotland. ICW Women's Champion, former. Bailey's birthday is tomorrow. Yeah, Bailey's not losing on her birthday. Sorry, Piper. CM Punk screwing over Drew does make sense and is the most clear route, though. Like you've said, TJ, I appreciate that. And yeah, it's just my take on it. It really is just my take. I really do think that it just feels like it, and especially with Punk being so quiet for the last couple weeks, and then on Monday when they ban every time people get banned from ringside, that 9 times out of 10 means somebody that's not banned from ringside is going to get involved. I could be wrong, but that happens quite often. Drew will have his moment when he beats Punk at SummerSlam. Exactly. I think so. And Drew's going to get moments. Like, Drew's done really well. I mean, if he wins the title at Survivor Series or Rumble, or I get it. He's in Scotland. And right now they're giving her Piper's getting choked up. So Piper's in a tough spot here because she's trying to be the mean, evil heel, but she is catching her feels on these "you deserve it" chants. She's thanking the crowd. She's smiling. She actually turned away from the audience to try and hold her shit together because she is supposed to be the mean heel, right? She's supposed to have the chip, but good on her. I'm a sentimental fool, so I love this kind of shit. It sets up Punk Drew SummerSlam, keeps Gunther in versus Priest. Gunther can take down the Judgment Day. Yeah, I'm with you. And I think there's a chance that I still think we could get possibly. I'm just throwing this out here, and there's nothing to support it yet. But part of me thought, could we get Finn Balor versus Damian Priest at Money in the Bank? Bullet Club reference. I love it. Hunk versus Punk, WrestleMania 41. And again, that could be part of the payoff. Absolutely could be part of the payoff, guys. Sorry, I'm half blind. Is the PLE today? Theater? No, it's Saturday. WWE PLEs for the most part are all Saturdays nowadays. Though there's rumors it could change. At least it's in Scotland, so we know it's going to be a rowdy crowd. Facts, 100%. Like the kickoff is a good indication. They're with everything. They're singing every song. I admit there might not be screaming and singing at level France was, but it's just the kickoff, so we'll see. But here comes Bailey. Bottoms up. I feel like I trust Triple H in his vision. He nailed NXT to where it was the most entertaining thing in wrestling for years, and now he's done such a great job since the takeover. I admit, and I will be 100% honest, and I see the chat, and I'm going to get to that super chat in 2 seconds, but I'm a mark for Triple H. I was a gigantic Triple H fan growing up. I thought he was awesome. I rocked my Triple H shirts, my Evolution shirts. I was a huge Triple H mark. So watching him progress, and I know the people out there were, oh, he's just because he was banging the boss's daughter. He went through a lot before he started hanging out with Stephanie. However, even if he did, that's just hating someone's hustle because the smoothest move in wrestling history. But we got the Hey Bailey song. Sorry. But I do trust Triple H. I loved his vision in NXT Black and Gold. He took a developmental brand that was on the network and made it must see. He made it destination viewing, and all the intricacies. Like you think of the story that he built with Sammy and KO, and even Seth when he first had the title, and then watching DIY implode. There was a lot, and some of the talent, their best years ever. Look at the Undisputed Era under Triple H's guidance. But I do. And does that mean he's going to be perfect? No. Does that mean everything he does is going to be golden? No. Every once in a while, he's going to shit the sheets. It's just going to happen. He's not going to mean to. He's going to try something, and it's not going to work. Example, currently what's happening with DIY, I feel like Trips hasn't quite figured that one out yet. But I do have faith in him. And I think a really good example of how things have changed is you look what happened with Randy Orton and Gunther. A botch finish. They made a mistake. The ref fucked up. But Triple H instantly takes it head on. It wasn't just swept under the rug and forgot about. Triple H comes out and says, our bad. We will run that back when we can. So I think there's a different level of accountability with Triple H. I think Triple H really takes pride. Like it's important to Triple H that the fans are getting off on this. Where the former regime only cared about them getting off. Pause, but true. And that's my take, is I have all the faith in the world in this guy. Bo said so. What's up? Hey, bruv. How you doing? What's going on, bruv? Thank you so much for the $9.99 super chat. All the love from Chocolatetown, USA. Is that Hershey, Pennsylvania? I'm guessing. Is there an actual Chocolatetown? No, I appreciate the super chat so much. We appreciate the support and the love. But yeah, welcome from Chocolatetown. I feel like I'm being tricked here, but I would love a Scottish build-up for Piper tomorrow. Yeah, highly possible. I think Drew's gonna, like a lot of people are, we're gonna get broken dreams. What is the vibe gonna be? And I think we've seen it. We've seen Rhea had a big entrance in Perth. They're gonna make it special. But right now, ooh, the ladies are getting catty. Bailey looking good. What is she drinking? Is that Iron Brew? Is that Iron Brew? Anybody know what I'm talking about right now? It's got the color. It might be apple juice, but it could be Iron Brew. Only area I was nervous about him was when Cody almost gave up his chance to win that title at WrestleMania this year after winning the Rumble. It made 0 sense, and I'm glad he ended up with it. I do think that part of that whole story, part of that whole angle, there are certain things that are going to be pushed and impressed upon Triple H. I think what made me really happy was I feel like a Vince McMahon would have been very stubborn, very stagnant, and very stuck in his ways, so they wouldn't have augmented the plan. Now, rumor is apparently The Rock woke up one morning and had an epiphany. No shit, everybody was freaking out. But I'm glad they had the sense to change it. And I'm sure Trips was like, oh, thank fuck. So yeah, again, he's not gonna bat 1,000, but he's definitely going to give us as much quality as he possibly can. Not everything's gonna be beautiful, not everything's gonna be golden, like I said. There's gonna be some moments where we miss. Makes me happy because SmackDown is early and the NBA finals are tonight. Can split my time with both. There you go. There you go. The NBA finals and the NHL finals are feeling very similar right now. But there goes Piper. Good exchange between the women. I like it. I think Piper's doing well. And all natural. Bailey. No, just kidding. I hope the countdown shows up on the screen at Raw and Howdy kicks off the show. I believe the countdown is set. Now, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought the countdown comes to an end at like 8:19, like just after the start of the show. So it's very close. I'm thinking TJ, somebody gets in the ring, starts talking, and that's the person that's going to be in. There's going to be someone in the ring when the countdown expires. But we're turning to Drew McIntyre, standing on the beautiful hills of Scotland. I'm shocked they got video of the place not being rained on. That's excellent. But I do think we're going to get a QR code. And even if the QR code is something like just reminding people that the countdown went from 6 days to 2 days, I do believe, and I know there's some people out there that are so sick of this Howdy thing. And I know I've marked out about it a little bit, but I'm enjoying it. And I admit it's got to come to, now that we got this countdown, you got to get us to the next level. You know, this has been, somebody said 70 days or something like that of clues and riddles. I think they've been done phenomenal with the clues and riddles. But let's get into some legitimate story here. Let's get some Howdy. But here comes Drew McIntyre. I want them to pan the crowd, and Punk just so happens to be in the crowd with everybody. Do you guys think anything gets added to Clash last minute on SmackDown? I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. Maybe a pre-show match kind of idea, but I don't expect much. Wait, hold up. Is Clash at the Castle today or tomorrow? It's tomorrow, sir. Right now, we are doing the Clash at the Castle kickoff show. I wasn't doing anything, so I thought I'd come say hi to the people. So here we are. I appreciate everybody hanging out with me today. I will remind everybody we are back tonight at 8 o'clock for both SmackDown and Against All Odds. 2 shows at the same time. Rampage is happening, so we'll probably keep an eye on that as well. And then we are back Saturday morning, tomorrow morning, 11:45 a.m. Brunch with the boys, 10. I think it's 10, but it's going to be a fun one. What else we got in this chat? It's a quiet chat, and I'm still struggling to keep up. I don't think WWE are done with him. I just don't think it's his time yet. Who are we talking about? Give me a little bit of Mac. Give me a little Mac. Give me a little bit of context. I've been talking about 20 people, so let me know what you think. Or let me know who you're talking about. Lil Rich. Oh, Drew McIntyre. Oh, get out of my swamp. Lil Rich. The talent is actually amazing on each franchise. The booking fits. That affair story with Liv is terrible. Braun Breaker is no Brock Lesnar. The over aggressiveness has no motive. The talent is actually amazing on each franchise, and the booking fits. The affair story. So Little Rich, this is where I disagree with you on a lot of it. The affair with the whole storyline with Liv has been, to me, perfect. It is working. It is strong. And again, I love the idea that we're seeing like a very strong female-led storyline. And this is all about revenge. And this is all about fucking with Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley's on the shelf. Rhea Ripley can't get. It's kind of like what Drew's been doing, or what Drew was doing with CM Punk out. Drew could come out with his T-shirt with CM Punk on it and talk shit, and Punk has no recourse. That's what this is building towards. And I think the payoff ends up being that, Dom sides with Liv, and that's, everyone knows that if you put Rhea Ripley in the ring with Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley's going to rip her limb from limb. But if Dom is in Liv's back pocket, now the smaller, less physically impressive champion has a chance to retain, build genuine heat. I have no idea why people in the IWC don't see that, or why they're not enjoying that. I think this is a next level for Liv. She seems comfortable on camera. She's playing the role really well. She's seducing this young man. And again, a lot of us, I get it. There's a lot of people, a lot of guys in the IWC that get really pissed off because, the idea of one girl, let alone two. Ooh. But right now, Dom is one of the most enviable men in all of wrestling. Undeniable. The story makes sense. Braun Breaker is no Brock Lesnar. Braun Breaker is doing pretty fucking solid. And actually, if you go back to old Brock Lesnar, I would argue with you that Braun Breaker has more personality than a young Brock Lesnar. Do you remember when Brock first came in? You couldn't hand Brock Lesnar a microphone when he first showed up. Just the fact that he was a big beast of a guy. His aggression, they made his aggression make sense. So again, if you feel like his aggression don't make sense, that's fine. But he is pissed off. He was overlooked. He didn't get involved in the King of the Ring, and now he's just taking it out on people. There's a motive. There's an angle. He's going to prove to everybody. He's going to keep fucking up the shows. He's going to keep injuring people. He's a menace until Adam Pearce or somebody steps up to stop him. All the aggression makes sense. Punk screws Drew coming out of the... I like it. CM Punk will cost Drew the match. This rivalry is far from over. Two seasoned vets with hate for each other. Love it. I'm with you, Big Mike. That's my take. That's been my take from the minute. Because, again, I know the Scottish crowd are going to boo. They're going to be pissed. But WWE knows 2 days later, they're back in the U.S. And people will be back booing Drew and back cheering Punk. That's where you got to have the foresight. You got to look past where you are right now. You got to look into the future. Yeah, great moment in Scotland. But then you go back to the States, and now you have a heel champion, and you don't know where to go with the storyline. I love, I always say, be patient. I say be greedy. You can have everything you want. You can have the whole buffet. But sometimes you got to wait in line to get your feed. But Drew right now going back and forth with Cole. Something every wrestler wants to hear. You deserve it. Absolutely. Here we fucking go. I'm cursing early in the day because of these guys. So if anyone out there doesn't know, there's a huge soccer match today. Scotland's taking on Germany. Germany's hosting the Euros, and a lot of people are highly anticipating this. And Drew has them all cheering, which I guess here we, and the fans go up. Here we fucking go. So not only is he inciting the chaos, he's encouraging it. So I highly enjoy what we're getting here from Drew. And this has been the best Drew we've gotten. Drew has just hit that spot in his career where he gets it. He's dialed in. It just all fits for Drew right now. Now we're getting Punk chants, but we're getting Punk chants and boos. See, there's Punk fans in the building. Oh, now this is an interesting point. This is what my buddy Nick would be pointing out right now. The last clash broke my heart, broke my family's heart, broke the UK's heart. I've never been more focused than I am right now on this match. And on paper, listening to Drew right now, it's hard to think, man, this guy's going to lose. Let's be real. France was too much. TJ, never too much, man. Be greedy. Again, I'd rather have way too much than none, right? Like, think about it. Where were we on Monday? Fucking Idaho, Iowa. Where were we? We got nothing. France, I'd take too much any day of the week. I don't care. They chanted for 2 counts. It was beautiful. Whatever you're smoking, that France was the best crowd we've seen. Yeah, blow the roof off. Fucking scream, yell, chant, sing, dance. Fuck, do whatever. Go insane. How's he putting in last name? I don't know what you're saying, Roman. A lot of people liked it. I don't like the singing, but that's just me. Fair enough. But again, I don't think that, like, I heard other people, TJ, you're not alone. I hate it. But are you, like, when you watch a wrestling show or when you watch a sporting event, I don't get deterred. Like, oh, they're singing. I can't watch this. It's too much. I'd rather that than silence. If it sounds like they're wrestling in a fucking library, it's hard to take in, man. But here comes the Archer of Infamy, Damian Priest. Oh, you would hate going to a soccer game. Exactly, right? Like, you think of the soccer games. I mean, I'm a big fan of going live sporting events. And I'm a big fan of going to concerts. And I want that energy. I want people singing. And that's what the vibe was. That's what the French crowd was. That's what a lot of the UK, when you go to the UK, you get these amazing chants and cheers because it's like a soccer game. Like, you have a 90-minute soccer game, football game, if you will, and the crowd doesn't stop. The crowd is energized. They're singing. They go from chant to chant to chant to cheer to cheer to cheer, and I'm all for it.